So I promised I'd show you how we can do these calculations that we were doing in class this morning using Minitab. So in example 1, we were looking at finding the proportion of observations in the standard normal distribution that are at negative 1.25 and below. So in Minitab, what we have to do is go ahead and enter that z-score, and I also put in my z-score of positive 1.75. And in my to find my proportion below, I go to Calculate, Probability Distribution, which is the same place we go for binomial, but this time we're going to come up here to Normal. Now I'm interested in the probability, which is the same as the proportion, and it's always cumulative under the normal curve. So we're going to do cumulative probability. We tell it that the mean is 0 and that the standard deviation is 1 because we're in the standard normal distribution. And then when you first come here, this will be empty. So when you click in the box for input column, I'm going to say my z-scores that I want it to find the proportion below are in column C1. So I'm going to double click on C1. And then I click OK. And you can see that the proportion of observations that are below a z-score of negative 1.25 matches with what we got this morning using the table and using Excel. And that the proportion of observations that lie below 1.75 is 0.9599, so the proportion that are above is 1 minus 0.9599. Now, the other kind of question that we were working on this morning using Excel was that those situations where we knew the area below or the area above for that matter, and we wanted to find the corresponding z-score. So one of the examples we did together was we wanted to find the point Z that has 10% of the observations that fall below it. So what I want you to notice is here in my Minitab document, I have a column where I've said the given area below is equal to, and I just broke it out into intervals of 5% like I did in Excel, okay? I'm going to go over here to the z-score column, and I'm going to ask it to compute those z-scores for the given area below. So again, I'm going to go to Calculate, Probability Distributions, Normal, and this time I'm wanting the inverse cumulative, just like we were doing norm.inverse in Excel. This is the inverse cumulative, same mean and standard deviation of 0 and 1, but my input column is the given area below. Double click and click OK. And what I'll notice is it gives me the z-score, which Minitab calls X, the z-score for the given areas below. So for 10% below, we can see when X is less than or equal to 0.10, the corresponding z-score is negative 1.28. In the other example that we did this morning, we said what point Z has 20% of observations that fall above it. Well, if there's 20% above, then we said there's 100 minus 20% below. That would be 80%. So we come up here to our output, and we see that when X is less than or equal to 0.80, the z-score that corresponds to it is a z-score of 0.84. That's the very same answer we got using Excel and using our table of critical values. So let me know if you have any questions.